Hey, what's up everybody, Corey here, and in this video we're going to be revisiting an absolute classic, and that is the Mutable Instruments Clouds. Now we're revisiting this because honestly I have not used Clouds in quite some time. I actually tried to get rid of it recently and it just didn't sell, so I pulled it off Reverb and had space in the rack, and I'm like, you know what, let's dive back into this. And specifically, there's an alternate firmware for Clouds called Parasites, and I was aware of this before but never really dove into it. And just the other day I was like, you know what, let's get this going and see what happens. And Parasites offers some new sort of settings on it and kind of new features, and the one that we're going to be focusing on today is the looping delay. And man, is it cool. A little bit of how this is set up. I'm not going to go through how to put Parasites on your Clouds, but it's fairly easy. There will be links down below to get to all that stuff, including the Patreon, and including if you're looking for one-on-one Ableton lessons with an Ableton certified trainer such as myself, you can go to funthingsfunlife.com. But with that said, let's jump into the video, and we're going to start off talking about how the Ableton setup is with this. So we're able to send loops into the Clouds and then re-record it. Audio in and out, that's with the board brain optics. Again, I talk about this in almost every video, and you'll hear me continue to talk about this. It's just a great little ADAT module to be able to interface with your interface without it being your interface, if that makes sense. Just great. Audio is coming out if we go to this Audio to Clouds channel. So we have the Ableton's external audio effect, and the left and right is just coming out here, going into Clouds, and then coming back in right here. And then on this channel here, going out to Clouds, that is our CV stuff channel, and that's just a clock output. So this is tied to the tempo of Ableton, and right now it's just set to half notes, and that's going to the trigger. So that's going to restart the sample or loop that we have in Clouds at any given time. And that's kind of it. I mean, I do have the volt per octave, which is the pitch connected to this Arturia key step here that's just off camera. But basically what this allows us to do is to send, this loop here that we're going to play with through the Clouds. We're going to be able to capture it. Again, we're using that looping delay setting. And then we have this other channel here that is getting the audio from that channel so that we can resample it and capture these little lo-fi loops that we make. So a big part of the lo-fi is that it is set on Clouds. You have different settings in terms of the length, and also this kind of determines the fidelity of sound that you put through it. So the highest fidelity is 1 second and the lowest being 8 seconds. So it is set to 8 seconds, which adds just a really nice little crunch. What we're going to do is I'm just going to play this loop. You're going to hear it it's not going to quite sound right, and then we're going to capture it basically with that freeze and then play with it. So let's go. You'll hear it there, Clouds kicks in. So let this go a little bit, and then we'll capture it just to make sure we get the biggest piece possible in that buffer. Okay, there we go. So if I stop that clip, so now we're just hearing Clouds. Here it's re-triggering. You can kind of see the light right there. So it's re-triggering this, sample that's caught in there, but then we can mess with the size as well as the start time. So if we tab over, there's already a little piece that I made here, but we're going to just kind of start from scratch. So if I zoom in here, again, we have this record channel here. So if we let this, we're going to be monitoring through this original channel that has that external audio effect on it, but we're going to be recording on this channel. So let's just record, and we're going to play with the size as well as the position, and then the density, which is diffusion, but it kind of does this stereo thing as you hear. So mono. Nice. So we're just going to record. Oh my goodness, I just ripped my headphones out. All right, so let's record. That's a good one right there. texture is going to be the EQ filtering. And we turn that channel off, and then we just have, again, this is the take lanes thing that we talk about in every single video. I'm just going to select all of these and turn the volume up of everything so it's a little bit more normalized. I mean, that in itself is freaking sick. So we could just go in here and just, you know, create a loop. I mean, that's good on its own. We'll duplicate that over there so we have it. So I think if we take that there and then, let's see, we copy this first piece. And maybe we actually need the badoom to hit on the 1. So let's zoom that over. That's kind of nice. So yeah, so let's duplicate this over, because now that we've switched that little piece to basically hit on the 1, this little piece here, it just makes a little bit more sense. So now we have that copy there. Let's make a new version. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so then if we move this over here, we move this here, and then let's take this whole thing and copy and paste. So maybe that goes 3 times. So sick. Let's get our hi-hat in there. A little reverb on the drums. See, this is before we even do any processing. Yeah, I mean, I could hear that kind of turns into a full song at that point. Yeah, check out all the links down below to get to the firmware. And also, I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, but Clouds is a very affordable module, especially if you're just getting into modular. There's so many of them out there. I think that's why mine didn't sell, because there's so many and they're so cheap, you know, just over $100. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Again, check out all the links below. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.